So if you don't think that pretty privilege is a thing, it absolutely is. I'm at the airport right now, and I'm going to tell you something that just happened. So the seat that I had, like that I was given, was like in the back of the plane, and it was like the middle. You know how you just get assigned a seat or whatever, right? I went up and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just like ask to see if I can get like a window seat. A guy got up to the counter before me and he was also trying to change his seat. I just like stood there and like witnessed the whole thing happen. And the guy was like, oh, do you want a window or do you want aisle? And he was like, and then he was like, it's gonna be this much for window, this much for aisle. It was like 86 for window, 70 something for aisle. So he was like, oh, I'll take the aisle. I was like, oh, this man just paid $75 to sit in like an aisle seat. And I was like, okay. Anyways, I just kind of like stared into space and like pretended like I wasn't listening to the conversation. Then it was my turn. And I said, hello, this is the seat that I was assigned. And I was wondering if I can change it possibly to another seat if there's any extra seats. And he was like, okay, let me take a look. And he was like, what would you like, an aisle or a window? And I was like, oh, I mean, whatever. And he was like, well, which one? And I was like, well, whichever is free. Or I was like, whichever one is like, if there's one that's free or the cheapest. This man put me in like aisle 7 and he was like, there's nothing in front of you, so you have a lot of leg room and it's by a window seat. I was like, oh, that's perfect. Okay, great. And I was like, and then he just gave me my ticket. He was like, there you go. And I was like, thank you. And also like nothing weird, like there was no weird interaction. There was no like, and I'm telling you, like, I didn't have to like flirt or like smize. I literally was just like, hello. And what I mean by this is like, this is proof that pretty privilege is a thing, but you have to like use it for good. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but it was one of those moments where I was like, look at me just existing. It was great. I'm not mad at it, but it's a real thing. But use it for good.
The guy who was in front of me in line is sitting right behind me, lol. I kind of feel bad.
Some things you probably need to hear. Hurt people hurt people. So don't take that personally. Realize it comes from a place within themselves that is hurt. And it usually has nothing to do with you. Stop listening and start watching. Actions will show you everything you need to know. They will show you, literally show you. Stop keeping tabs on people you're trying to heal from. It's not helping. You know that. Sometimes people will say that you're a bad person to make them feel better about things that they've done to you that they don't feel good about. Accountability and growth is a beautiful thing, and everybody's capable of it, unless they're not. But that's not your job to make somebody else do that. What you can do is do that for yourself, and the rest is up to them. If they wanted to, they would. You've heard this. If somebody wants to, they will. They will. Honesty and communication can fix almost anything. Literally almost anything. If they want to. Don't ever assign your value to somebody else. If somebody doesn't see value in you, that's okay. Let them go. Let them go. They're not for you. Don't let anybody make you feel that you're hard to love.
I guess communication is the key, but when it comes to this girl getting stuff, it's more like her looking. So, hear me out. She was about to get the plane and she wanted to change the seat that she got allocated. She wanted to change. Maybe because she was not comfortable or because she didn't have much leg room. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, fair enough. If you want to change it, change it. But when she's in the queue, she finds this customer in front of her also trying to change his seat, and he's trying to go for the cheapest one, even though that means he's in the aisle instead of the window. So she already knows there's an extra charge to be sitting next to the window. When it comes to her time to get speaking with the flight attendant and like try to change her seat, just like offering her options and like not really even mentioning the price of it. And that's a bit weird, because how can a previous customer, because he's a male, got charged, but now because she's a female, young and beautiful, she does not get charged for a window seat with extra leg room? I found that a bit, unfair. And I don't think he's right. I'm not too sure what happened, and it's just a little bit odd considering that the previous person was requesting exactly the same as her and he had to pay, and she was trying to change his seat and I just got it for free. If it was me behind her in the queue, I would be quite upset, because I'll probably be very happy if it happened the same thing to me, but I definitely don't think it's the right thing for for people to have privilege just because of their appearance. But yeah, it's definitely not a fair situation, but the good thing is she actually got the seat. She felt comfortable. She did mention that she felt a little bit remorse, a little bit bad for the fact that the man that was in front of her in the queue was literally next to her, like in front of her. So yeah, maybe he doesn't even know that she got that seat for free, but that's another story. But would you guys ever like experience a moment that you felt unfair or felt like justice was not done because of the way you look or your appearance? There's so many things in the world that are not right, but being privileged by the way you look is definitely something that happens quite a lot and doesn't make everybody happy.